open us in prayer this morning?
Father, today we thank you for this meeting. We thank you for this gathering, every person and every business represented here today. And even thank you for our mayor who's present amongst us, God. And we just pray that you would bless what we do. Help us to be extremely productive, God. Give us innovative ideas, God. Give us clarity even as we discuss what we discuss, God. And we just give you the glory for this now. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. And next, let's go ahead and do introductions, and we're going to ask to keep it short, just kind of your name and your business and maybe where you're located. And Jason, can we get you to start, and then we'll just go around the table?
Okay. I'm Jason Long. I'm the owner of JL Designs, graphic design and print studio, located at 805 West 6th Avenue, across from the old Sears building.
My name is Tamika Terry. I'm the owner of Ladies Plus Size Fashions, and I'm also the owner of Classy Curves Boutique, and I'm located at 3103 West 28 and 3128 of West 28 in Regency Square.
My name is Reggie Cole. I'm owner of Natural Bliss Health and Wellness Store located 7203 Sheridan Road, Suite K. Also owner of Dynasty Marketing here locally as well. In our store, everything is natural, and we're naturally nourishing from head to toe. That's our moniker.
Good morning. I'm Larry Gregg. Larry Gregg Insurance Agency, just right down the street, 6210 Dollaway Road, and I'm a Farmers Branded agent.
My name is Tony Anderson. I'm on Blake Street, Mulford, 801 South Blake. Been there a few years.
I'm Stacy Walls, and I'm part owner of CPR Cell Phone Repair in Watson Chapel, and I'm at 3801 Camden Road, Suite 13 in Chapel Village Shopping Center.
Twyla Willis, co-owner of Sugar Girls Boutique with my sister LaWanda Logan. We're located at 3120 South Olive Street, Suite C, across from Charter Ford. We carry sizes 0 to 3X, ladies, fashions, and accessories.
Good morning, LaDon Willis Barnes. I own Whatnots on Main Street, 916 Main. It's on the corner of 10th and Main. It's in the old Goodyear building. And our motto is where shabby meets chic.
Morning, Troy and Christy Philbrook. We own the property shop of Arkansas Real Estate and Property Management and Southland Property Services, do maintenance on properties, and we're at 2221 South Olive Street.
Debbie Hollingsworth, mayor of this great city of Pine Bluff, and I love seeing everybody here.
Shannon Carruthers, Shannon's Restaurant, Big 511 Dollaway Road, 24-hour restaurant.
I'm David Pipes, owner of Esco Exterminating Services. Been here 22 years. Pleased to be here. Pleased to meet all of you.
Trisha Shank, owner of Deja Vu Upscale Consignment, 2 locations, one inside the Pines Mall and the others in Watson Chapel.
Ann Williams, director of Pine Bluff Regional Chamber of Commerce.
Timothy Wallace, owner of Wild Wallace Flowers and Gifts.
Eddie Williams Sr., owner operator, Eddie Williams Upholstery Furniture Repair, 3011 South Midland Drive. And our motto is, we make your old furniture look like new.
I'm Steven Sands. I just opened Mattress by Appointment in the mall and have direct from the factory mattresses, high-end, bottom of the line to the top of the line. Anything you need. Running some good sales right now. You guys come see me. Glad to be here. Glad to be back in Pine Bluff.
I'm Derek Urquhart, owner of Country Chic Chocolate Company located at 1522 South Main Street.
Wynn Trafford, owner of Trafford Real Estate and Trafford Buildings, main office 2119 West 2nd. But today I'm here as a candidate for City Council to hear and listen to all of the concerns, and wow, to see this group is amazing, and I think we're headed the right direction, folks.
My name is Luke Matheson. I'm the owner of ArkansasVarsity.com. Our motto is we're the authority in Arkansas prep sports. Been in business 10 years this week. Real excited about that, and watch Channel 11 tonight. You might see a familiar face at 6:30.
I'm Lisa Cosmitis. I'm not the owner, but I'm the audiologist at South Arkansas Hearing Services. We take care of all of your hearing needs, your spouse's complaints.
Stay busy.
Yes, I stay very busy. And my husband has been a business owner here in Pine Bluff for 32 years. He's a dentist over by the hospital on 42nd.
Nancy McNew, I work at the Alliance and Chamber.
Panay Kaysen, I have A1 Grooming too, on 6201A Dollar Road behind Library.
Hi, I'm Gwen Wilson. I have A1 Grooming and Pet Hotel at 2821 South Catawba. We've been in business here in town for just a little under 50 years.
I'm Tommy Palmer from Stereo Junction. We're at 2809 West 28th. Born and raised in Pine Bluff, lovely city, come back to what it used to be. We've been in business for 37 years.
Sean Davis, owner of VIP Detailing and Pressure Washing. Been in business for a year, loving it. Also, recently, the Percussion Room Drum School started, so that's it.
My name is Lynette Moss. Me and my mom, we are the owners of Bake the World a Better Place. It's a bakery, we just started last year in July. We were recently located at the Pines Mall, but we are working on relocating. So far, as a new business owner, it's a learning experience, but we're trying to build up our clientele.
My name is Kerwin White. I am not a business owner. However, I am the director and principal of Jefferson Area Technical Career Center, the high school technical career center, what we used to call the VOTEC. And I'm here to just listen and also let you know what we have to offer at our programs, and that these high school students here are coming through our program. So if you have any questions, feel free.
Scott Robinson, Ralph Robinson and Son Funeral Home here in Pine Bluff at 807 Cherry Street. We've been around for about 125 years.
I just want to say that I'm from Emerald Videos. You can hear an accent. I'm originally from Ukraine, but I've been in America for 7 years. I've been in Pine Bluff a year. My husband's actually from Pine Bluff, so that's how I'm in Pine Bluff. But yeah, I'm behind the camera. Enjoy.
What we'd like to do today is have the chamber speak to us. Let us know what they have to offer, and then maybe next week we'll meet and decide, is this something that the chamber, can we fit under their umbrella? Do we want to join as a group? Do we want to stay independent? So we have some decisions to make in the future, okay? But today we're going to hand it over to Miss Ann. We appreciate you coming out today.
Thank you so much. Your name again, I'll apologize. Timothy just handed me the list of questions, so I guess we can just go through and I'll do my best to answer the questions. The first question here is, what are the chamber's dues? It's really based on how many full-time employees that business has. We can't say if a business has 25 employees, but they're part-time, then that membership investment is going to be less than what it is if that business has 25 full-time employees. But I'm not going to get into that because that really isn't what you want to know. You want to know how much it will be for a small business. So let's really just let's get to the meat of it. You really don't want to know what it costs for Simmons or what it costs for Reliance Bank. You want to know what it would cost for you. So let's just talk about what we can do to make it comfortable for you all. What we can do is, what we do for are you all familiar with the incubator downtown? What we do for them, and what I think will be a comfortable fit is two things that will probably be a comfortable fit for you all. Number one is the way that we do it for the incubator. What we do is offer them our rock bottom membership, which is the individual membership investment, which is $150 a year. It's a membership application fee of $25. I, myself, or any chamber employee, Nancy, or anyone can waive that fee. So definitely, I waive that fee for you because that's an additional $25 to someone that may not be much, but to even me, that's a lot. So we would waive that $25, so that's a rock bottom of $125. But where that could be kind of tricky is that is only for 1 year. So after that first year of $125, it would go to the base membership of $210. That's pretty steep for a small business, and we realize that. So, okay, if you don't want to do that, I would take the second best option. To me, that this is the better option of let me see, how can I say it, of, a quarterly payment of $52.50 quarterly. And you pay that every 4 months of $52, and you lock that in forever. 25 years from now, you'll still be paying $52.50. Until, even if your business flourished and you're comfortable, you are still paying $52.50, and you're going to receive the exact same benefits. And I can imagine the things that you hear, that we cater to this and we cater to that, but it all depends on what you do, how you utilize us. If you're in there telling me, and we want this, guess what? Ann is going to do it. I'm not going to turn you down. And we want you to offer, and that's on your list, what type of trainings do you offer? I offer what trainings you tell me you want me to offer. That's what training. I don't come up magically with trainings. The trainings that the members see. You are a member, you saw customer service. It is because a member came in and told me they wanted customer service offered. So if you come in and say, I would like to see cyber training offered. Okay, I'm gonna say, well, we may not have but 3 or 4 people come to that cyber training. I'm not gonna say we're not going to offer it. I'm gonna say we're gonna offer that cyber training, and we're gonna offer it to that 3 or 4 people. Yes, we're going to open it up to all of the chamber membership, but we're going to still offer it, even if we have 3 or 4 people show up to it. We're still gonna offer it, because why? You, that member, said that you wanted it. Nancy, we have had members trainings that have had as little as 8 people show up.
So they loved it though.
And they love it. So that is knocking down that stereotype that we only cater to the large business. No, we will do whatever the member asked us to do. Yes, I don't even see it as a waste of time, because in those trainings that we have 8 people come to, those are 8 people that have never really stepped foot in our chamber before. Those 8 people were people from the movie theater, and I was so excited because they really had never came in the chamber before. And they wanted customer service training, so we offered customer service training. The people from the movie theater came, some people from the co-op came in, and I was really excited because they had never really came into the chamber before. So, to answer the question on the list of what type of training we offer that you all would cater to, whatever you say, and come in as a member and say, and will you offer this training? The answer is yes. I sure will, because why? A chamber member, you came in and said you wanted me to offer it. So you all get together, decide whatever training you want me to offer, even if it's one at a time. You come in and say, we have 12 months in the year. We can offer 12 trainings a month. We will offer those trainings. Yes, the answer is yes. Help me get the word out that those are stereotypes and rumors, because we will offer whatever the training is. The membership dues, now you know the answer, $150 a year or $52.50 quarterly. If you want to join as an individual, it's $150 a year or $37.50 quarterly. Now, the only thing is with an individual membership, is it only lists your name. Your company doesn't get that exposure. So be careful in taking that membership as an individual, because your company name doesn't get that exposure. That's the only thing that I kind of don't encourage, getting membership under your individual name only. You're going to get the same benefits as a member individual, but as far as an individual, it only lists your name in our advertisements and things of that nature. If you sponsor something or if you attend something, you can only list your name. You can't say your name and natural list. Nope, you can only list your name as the member. So, but as far as joining as an individual, you can still pay quarterly, $37.50 quarterly, forever and ever, or you can pay $150 a year. But I would say, as a business, I would do that $57.50 quarterly forever, for 25,000 years. $57.50 quarterly. I would do that. I would definitely take advantage of that forever and ever and ever. And let's see, what types of programs do you offer small businesses? What type of programs do small businesses want? We have we just recently, I was talking to Trisha a few months back. We had a business committee called Business Relations, and we are revamping that committee and changing it to our Small Business Relations Committee. And we are wanting this group right here to be that committee. We want you all to come in and be that chamber committee. So you all can pretty much dictate whatever that committee does. This committee, this group right here is that committee. We want this group to be that committee at the chamber. You meet in the boardroom. You all can, you can meet right here. This could be a chamber restaurant. We meet at chamber restaurants. That's one of the benefits of being a chamber restaurant. We love to eat.
We can have passes here.
Yes, ma'am. The red coats we eat quarterly. We love to eat. That's one of the benefits.
It used to be Chamber North. We didn't do Chamber East.
Yeah, we eat. That's one of the benefits that we love to eat.
Service classes, does it include work ethic, good work ethic?
Yes, I'm a licensed ethics trainer. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Another benefit as a restaurant owner, I can come in and train your staff. Guess how much it's going to cost you though? As a member, it's free. Yes, I come in, any staff training that you want me to do, it'll cost you as a chamber member free. You just have to
well worth it.
Put it on my schedule. I'll come in, give you an hour training to your staff. That's a member benefit. Just let me know, Ann, can you come in and give me an hour training? Of course I can. I love it. That's just one of my passions. As you can see, I love to talk. Love to talk. Did 6 years as a special education teacher, so love to talk. But okay, let's stick back to the list. Let's see. Reduce membership fees. You heard how we can break it down to quarterly, a free year. The only reason why I have to decline that is because I would have to go back and do it for all of the members that we have. So, but we can do those quarterlies, which I think that would be a great fit for everybody, that $52.50 quarterly. And what we would do is take you as a member and bill you on that quarterly. That first quarterly, we will bill you that quarterly. You know, take you in as that member and bill you that second quarterly. So you wouldn't receive a bill this first one, you will receive a bill that second quarter. Just so you can see how you like that first quarter. In good faith, that first quarter, just to let you see. So that would, at least you could, that would be what, 4 months free? At this group right here. Just to let you see. So now you gonna know beyond a shadow of a doubt. That second quarter, that bill's coming. Monica is real good. Our office manager, those of you isn't she good at billing?
She's good.
She's good at billing. She's good at billing. And it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Just to show us that you fill out that application, that bill is coming. But you know, that's one thing that I could definitely say, that that quarterly membership I think will be a great asset, and we can start those member benefits immediately. I'll send you the packet out. But like she said, those trainings, the mayor has given us some great ideas that for this committee, young professionals, I see a lot of faces in here that are young. Nancy's in charge of that group. Leadership Pine Bluff, it opens up some doors. I see a lot of leadership alumni in here that just that opens up doors that even when I went through Leadership Pine Bluff, I had no idea that one day I would be over that. I enjoyed, had perfect attendance. I enjoyed every aspect of Leadership Pine Bluff. That's something that you don't even have to be a member of the chamber to be a part of, but that's a great benefit just of Pine Bluff as a city to be a part of, that I would love for you all to promote. It's just great. If you wanted to host our meetings at the chamber, yes, you have to get it on the calendar. You can imagine having 700 plus representatives, how quickly that room can fill up, and plus us as a chamber, how many meetings we have. So just getting it on our calendar. If you want to host a meeting in there, letting us know so that we can get it on the calendar. Most definitely, you could have a meeting there as a chamber member. It's just letting someone at the chamber. Rhonda Dishner usually handles our calendar. She's Luann Nesbitt, immediate assistant. She handles the calendar there. For members, do you provide yes, we have our newsletter Monday morning. It goes out every Monday morning. You can advertise in it weekly if you like. It's $25 to advertise in it weekly, or you can do it, it's free. If you we can't advertise like a price. We can do an announcement for you free, but if you're like selling tickets, we can say contact Win for more information. If there's a price, we can say contact Win for more information. We can't say it's $25 ticket. Well, we can say contact Win for more information if there's a ticket price. But we can do announcements free. So yes, for advertisement. But for that $25 that I said, we can link it to your website. Your website can be linked to the chamber's website. And I was very excited to see that every time you pretty much Google Pine Bluff, we come up. And that's exciting because we get a lot of calls, because automatically when you Google Pine Bluff, the chamber comes up. So for $25, you can link to every time you Google Pine Bluff. So that's a really good feeling for a small business, that you can be linked to us for $25. I'm gonna have to look into that advertisement that actually stays in our newsletter. I'm not quite sure, I don't wanna quote wrong, but there's an advertisement that actually stays in our newsletter all the time.
That one, I forgot the amount, that's per year.
Per year, that's a yearly rate on that, but I don't wanna quote that wrong, but you can actually stay in our newsletter that goes out every Monday. So I'll find that out for you all, and I will let Tisha know, so Tisha knows, so that you all can know that specifically. But that's great. As far as this question on the reduced conferences and workshops is $5 for chamber members and $15 for non-members. So $5, anytime we have a workshop at the chamber, it's $5 for members. So you can come to any workshop that we have at any workshop, those customer service all those advertisements, that $5 every time. You can come to as many as you want. Every time it's $5. But if it's you can invite a friend that's not a member, now it's $15 for them. But for you as a member, it's $5. Whatever, no matter how, even in all of the handouts, no matter what the booklets, everything about it, for a member is $5 every time, $5. Okay, but non-members, $15. If it's handouts, the handouts will be additional for that non-member. But for you, no matter what we're doing in that workshop, and we always feed, we always have food, and $5. Okay. Let's see. Any other questions that's not up here? Is it something that
The main thing you need to discuss, I think, is the difference between the chamber and the business alliance.
Oh, okay. What's the difference between the chamber and the alliance? Is that a question? Oh my goodness, it's a huge difference, Tommy, and thank you so much for bringing that up. Okay, the alliance is an umbrella organization, and the alliance is the umbrella. The chamber is under that umbrella. The Jefferson Industrial Foundation is under that umbrella. The The industrial park is under that umbrella. The Port Authority is under that umbrella, and they all have their individual boards. The chamber has a board. The Port Authority has a board. The Jefferson Industrial Park has a board. It is all under the umbrella of the Alliance, which is the governing body. The Alliance the Alliance board is the governing board, okay? The chamber is just an entity of the Alliance, okay? A lot of people think that the chamber is the governing, and I thank you all for that. But no, the chamber is just a part, an arm, I guess. We're really a toe. We're really more of a toe of the Alliance. Are we the biggest entity? I would say yes, because of the members. We are totally governed by our members. Without our members, the chamber is non-existent. The Alliance does not fund the chamber at all. Does not fund it in any aspect. The chamber is totally funded by its chamber members. I am totally paid by you all, the chamber members. That's why I'm so thankful that you all invited me here today, so that I could squash, hopefully that I squashed at least one or two of the rumors and stereotypes of the chamber, because I really want you to know that small businesses are, oh my goodness, we have so many small businesses in the chamber. And I try so hard to do as much for the small businesses as I do for the larger businesses. Of course, the big businesses can sponsor more things. Of course they can. But as far as the benefits for the small businesses, you all have the exact same benefits that the larger ones do. And that, wow, that's a huge benefit within itself, that you have the exact same benefits that a Tyson, a Simmons, a Reliance, a MK distributor has. You have that exact same benefit, but what you have to do is utilize that benefit. You have to come in there and say, Ann, I want this, and guess what Ann is gonna do? She's gonna do it. Why? Because you are a member, and I respect you the same way I do the larger businesses. But anyway, going back to the difference is that the Alliance is the governing, they are the head honcho organization. And all of those others, the Jefferson, the Industrial Park, the Port Authority, the Chamber, they are the arms, they are bodies within that arm. So the Alliance is really the head honcho, and we are the little body parts. So, okay.
And we want to talk about budgeting dollars for advertising that the chamber does within our city, or the regional chamber, to get our businesses out to the people, because I think that's one of the things, to me, being a member of the chamber, is how do I get my business name out before the community, especially a brand new business, not having those advertising dollars. And I think that
one of the things about the chamber is our budget, guys. I wish you all could. That's another question that I'm glad you asked, because we have really almost next to zero advertising. Now the Alliance advertising dollars is a lot more than ours is. But as far as a chamber, ours is very, very, very small. I think it may be $300. That's why, as far as our newsletter is concerned, I am so thankful that it gets so many hits. And that's why you, as a chamber member, can be a part of that newsletter advertising free. That's why I said, if you want to advertise in it without naming how much, but we can put your contact information in it. For more information, see whomever, you can do that free. You can link to it, your website, for $25. But as far as our website, you can be a part of that. But as far as us advertising, we have very minimal advertising dollars that we can do for you. But as far as being in our newsletter, on our website, putting your information inside of our chamber, bringing your brochures and things of that sort, yes, bring it to the chamber. Display it at the chamber, yes. Put it in the newsletter, put it on our website, definitely. But as far as advertising dollars at the chamber budget, I am so thankful that Wynn is on this committee and that he is a new chamber board member, because he's getting ready to see that budget and he's gonna be able to come back and say, ooh, guys, they don't have an advertising budget.
No, that'll actually be at noon today.
Yes, it will be. Now, he won't see the alliance budget, but he will see the chambers. No, the chamber itself, no. But you all as chamber members, you all, but you all can definitely advertise in any means that we already have, yes. Bring your brochures, your advertising to the chamber and display it anywhere in our lobby, anywhere on our website that you want us to add it to, anywhere in our newsletter that you want us to add it to. If you want to be a permanent means in our advertising, I will let her know how much that is. And it's not expensive, I promise you. It's not an expensive amount to advertise permanently in our
So
newsletter.
are you saying that under the membership directory on your website, the people who are listed on there, they pay for that?
On the website?
On your website?
Yes.
If I join today, why would my name not be on that?
Yes,
website?
well, no, as far as being listed as a chamber member, that's gonna stay there forever and that's free. As long as you're a chamber member, your name is gonna be listed. But say you have an ad, say you have an advertisement, that's what I'm saying. If you want
So
to advertise.
if I rejoin today, then my company name would be listed on their when?
Today, we're gonna, as soon as she gets your application and put your information in, it's gonna stay there as long as you're a member. As soon as she puts your information in. As soon as she gets the application and she input our Mandy Owens, she puts your information in, we're gonna add it to our website.
What are those introductions? Introductions on the newsletter, you know, new member?
Yes.
Like a 2 to 3 minute, 2 to 3 sentences about what you guys do along with the phone number and address, kind of like, hey guys, welcome on new member.
And guys, a tip, come up with things. Call me and we're having such and such and such this week. Can you put that in the newsletter? You know, just come up with stuff to get in the newsletter. I would. I really would.
Add to that.
Yes.
Probably the biggest advertising benefit that I think you can get from the chamber is our redcoats. Willing to go to anything. Have a grand opening, have a grand reopen. We'll cut a ribbon. That costs you $0. You get major exposure. Take advantage of it. Well, we have to know that it's happening.
But I mean, if you join as a new business, then, I mean, most people don't know that I need to request the chamber to come do a
The
ribbon.
reason we're saying we did join, we were previously members of the chamber and we didn't get the red coat. We didn't really know about it at the time.
The website.
So the website,
So we're not members.
it never did happen. Later on, we found out that other businesses were having it done, but like we didn't understand how to do it. So
Right.
there's a miscommunication there for people.
You know what?
We'll rejoin and let's do a grand reopen.
I've already had a grand reopen.
Another one. Into
You know what? That makes all the sense in the world. You know what? You're 100% right. We assume that people know that, you know, if you have a business and that you're gonna let us know that you want a ribbon cutting. And we should not assume that. We need to actually have a list to give a new member.
Would you like to have a?
Yes, well,
One
one thing I was wondering,
Make it part of
you know, when your business has to go to the city and apply for an occupational license and all that, how come the chamber doesn't get a list of that every week and go out to these businesses and say, hey, welcome, you know, we're glad to have you, and this is what we can offer you. I mean, I feel like
businesses have to search out the chamber You know, it's not like the chamber comes to you or anything else. It's like if I want to do anything, I have to come seek you.
Yeah. I think, I could, from my perspective, I used to be on the chamber board. And I'm gonna tell y'all, the main problem I had when I quit was that there's no interconnection with the chamber and the city government. None whatsoever. I never saw the mayor at any meeting or anybody from, it wasn't Debbie at that time, so I'm not throwing her under the bus.
I was gonna wait, let you get
But there was no representation from anybody from the city, and I feel like that this whole group that we're doing right now, this should be a part of the chamber. The chamber members should be down at the city council meetings going, this is what we want. We are the city, we are the city council has to understand that we're bringing the tax dollars into this town. If we're not here to get the money, the taxes, then they don't get the money. So we should be, it's kind of like we are their boss. We should be, not necessarily tell them what to do, but we need to voice an opinion.
Tommy, I'm gonna piggyback on what you said because we've, several meetings ago, at a chamber board meeting, there was some legislation proposed. And the chamber took a very active stance against some of the legislation. And I do believe because of the stance that the chamber took, it failed. But I agree, business people need to speak out on what is going on within the community. And I'm gonna say this, and if I'm politically incorrect, I'm sorry, but I just feel this way. We have got legislation on the books, and it's called transient merchants. I am so opposed to transient merchants, and I'm hammering it. It should not be allowed because they pay a very nominal fee during the holidays, and there are no taxes. They do not pay anything.
Valentine's Day is a prime example.
Transient merchants during Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Easter, where they set up with all these U-Haul trucks and they sell stuff, and I am so opposed to it.
Because they take away from people like Derek and Tim.
Absolutely. At all of our, you look at the mom and pops, Tim, yeah, you should get up and down and say no. And I'm against it, and trying to get council to understand how it hurts our city. It's wrong. So that's where, and I have not been saying that, and yes, you need to get up and say, we are against this, we are definitely against it, and speak up and have legislation to correct this, to amend it. It's wrong, any way you twist or turn it. And it makes our city look like a third world country.
Will we be stronger?
Transient merchants legislation.
From place to place.
Debbie, with that?
Yes.
Probably half of them don't even get
Sit up in open parking lots and
So will we be a stronger group if we was all come as a chamber or as an individual group like we're formed so far?
Right.
I mean, that's kind of why we're here about the chamber.
That is up to y'all how you need to address it. I can't.
So what is
this is what I say. This, to me, whenever you're looking at movements within a community, united we stand, divided we fall.
Yes.
And one of the things I learned coming in 2013 when we were talking about the youth and the different youth organizations within our city, we had a committee meeting, and our conference room was full of different organizations that help our youth. The left hand didn't know what the right hand was doing. So therefore you had all of these little bitty organizations. You were not making an impact on our community as far as our youth. What I'm saying is that if we have an extremely strong chamber and membership levels that will help or fit each small business, if you've got an extremely strong chamber, you've got a voice as far as legislation that is needed to support your business. You have got one voice, and that's a powerful voice. That's what I'm saying. And I think that just like this transient merchant deal, you've got some that say, oh, no, let the people come in from Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Yes.
And don't even pay taxes.
They pay nothing. They pay, they get a 3-day license, and I think the fee is $50, $75, don't quote me. They bring in all these baskets and stuff. It's just, I am so against it.
Did we bring this before the council?
Yes.
One time and it was rejected?
It was rejected.
That's ridiculous.
So my point is, that's the strength in numbers, and if you can unite that way, because yes, that's what you're supposed to do. It makes a big difference, yes.
One of the things that I think Mayor Hollingsworth is going to be very excited about, and well, first of all, she attends a lot of chamber board meetings, and I'm really excited about it because she keeps us abreast of what's going on. Last year, Duke Fakiri was chamber board chairman, and he really shook up some things, and I really appreciate him. But one of the things that he did that was really top notch was just stirred the pot and woke up our issues and legislation committee and revamped it, and now it's probably the best of the best issues and legislation committee that we probably have ever had. And I'm getting ready to take that very issue to them, and we're going to tackle that immediately. And the head of that committee is Jack Talbert. On that committee that I can name immediately is David Bridgeford and Duke Fakiri. And I think Chuck Morgan is on it as well. So we're going to tackle that particular issue immediately. We're going to talk about that today, so you'll hear a little bit about that. But we're going to immediately tackle some issues. One of the things that the chamber board voted, we used to have to wait for a chamber member to bring an issue. Starting this year, if we see an issue, we can tackle it immediately. But as a member, you can bring any issue. If you see something going on, let us know. But as a chamber, we don't have to wait anymore for you all to bring us an issue. So this right here, we're gonna get on this.
Well, that's what I wanted to hear, because we're trying to run our business. We don't have time to think about all these other things.
Exactly.
So if the chamber was to email me and say, hey, this is what's going on,
Yeah.
can you help us, then that's what we pay off.
Exactly. This is now this is starting this year. We now have the approval of the board that we no longer have to wait. So I'm very excited. And this is gonna be this is gonna be our first issue right here, because that's just wrong.
It is. What are you looking at?
That's just wrong. What's wrong? And Valentine's Day is fast approaching.
First, I want to celebrate you all for letting me video this, because I'm telling you, I got a message, oh, I saw this amazing video, how can I join? And then Ms. Trisha added the photographer. So the only reason he contacted me because he saw the video, so that works. My question to you is that, okay, so I know you let us bring prints and maybe some text for the website, but like, okay, let's say your website has a limited room and you can't really put an actual video, which takes a lot of space, but can you put a link? Because there are a lot of businesses, and I'm on a mission to help all the businesses, maybe for the low rates, but to get the video out there. And then, like, can we give you just a link, so you could add it to YouTube link to either newsletter or even your website?
We do have that capability to do a link. Yes, we do. Yes. Yes, as long as you're a member, we do have link capability.
I have a question, Ms. Ann. One of the things that we were thinking of small businesses is to do some type of shop local campaign. How can the chamber help us with that?
Mayor Hollingsworth actually beat you to the punch. She actually brought that idea to us, and we did not know how to get started. So we wanted to find out how we could, get started to help you. What is it that we needed to do to, what is it? Mm-hmm. Explain to us what it is and.
Well, the Bluff commercial has done that before, and those would be, very instrumental, and I'm sure we'll have to have newspaper advertising to give us some input on it. I don't know who did it. It's been about 10 years ago, but I remember they had to go around to different places to register to win, and I think we gave away a $100 certificate for each business that was a part of it each week, so people were, they had to go in your business though and so we had to get them in the door, but they may be instrumental in helping us come up with a plan. We don't have to do it, we just say, what do y'all do it?
And also, it's something that we started talking about I'm chairman of the AMP Commission, Advertising Tourist Promotion Commission. something we started talking about, and we want to work with the chamber. Of course, I'm there as chamber, bringing it all together for us to support each other, because that's one of the things that with our A&P commission that we can do is that's, especially if it's tourist promotion, is we just want somebody from out of town coming and spending money in Pine Bluff. That is what that commission's about. And we can partner with that, with the ads for that to happen. You know, the chamber's able to get with us. We can buy bigger ads. Then you buy, your portion of it becomes smaller. We all know when you go to the newspaper and you buy an ad, it's very expensive. But if you have a group that can go and buy a large ad at a discounted rate, and then you're able to get your share of that ad at that discounted cost, it makes it much more feasible for a small business. And that's something we're going to be working with and want to talk with the chamber. Let's see if we can just get this totally put together in a big way and make it happen.
I don't think it's about, I think that what I heard last week, it's a concept that we're gonna have to find out where models are and understand what works with that model and what doesn't work with that model. But to me, it's similar to what Little Rock and North Little Rock has done. That if you partner up with this concept, there's a discount involved. Depending upon the business, you can, for someone that lives in Star City, Dumas, whatever it may be, that if you have this particular card, you will receive a certain amount, a certain discount. Now we can determine it, tweak it however we want to do it, but it's an incentive to buy here, shop here. Don't go to Little Rock to do it. So there's many different concepts to this. We've got to understand what they are, tweak them, maybe bring more to the program, more to the concept. To get it started, I think it's going to cost some money. Get the cards, even print the cards is going to cost money. Or there might be other ways in which that might not be as expensive with the startup. But to me, that's what I'm hearing is buying Pine Bluff, and from Pine Bluff advertising to southeast Arkansas and maybe a little north. But that is our market area, our region that we want to market to.
I feel like we need a slogan. We
Yeah.
need a whole
Yes.
campaign, not just a 1 week thing.
Right.
Just ongoing.
Right.
I just moved back, I'm a Pine Bluff native, just moved back from California not too long ago. And the city of Oakland did that, and they used a voucher program. If you shop Oakland, you get this percentage off what a comparable price would be in San Francisco or what have you. But I like what you're saying, because a lot of people I know who live in southeast Arkansas bypass Pine Bluff to go to Little Rock. We got to stop that. You know, I'm the only mattress store in the city. You know, why go to Little Rock? You know, I mean, and I'm sure many of you have the same services that you could offer. We don't need to have people leaving us to go to Little Rock or leaving Star City and going around us.
Well, I can't say I have people come to Little Rock to come shop with me.
Well,
I was going to add, what you're talking about there is recently, and what I mean by recently, in the past 2 weeks, I've actually been hit up by teenagers that go to churches in this town that have a book that's about that thick with coupons for nothing but Little Rock stores, and they're trying to sell them in Pine Bluff.
Right.
And to add to that, I remember when I was in high school, we had a card that we bought at Pine Bluff High. I think it was like $15, $20 a year, and that card had a little section of all these businesses, and it told you what kind of discount you would
We used
get.
to do that years ago.
Yeah.
Coupon book.
You know, the card, it fit your wallet, and you just showed them the card when you would check out. I mean, you know, a bunch of broke high school kids at open campus, we used to go to McDonald's every day because you could get a discount. Yeah, so.
I just don't know if you could get people to pay for the card or the book would be the same.
That you would have to partner up with A&P and a few other places to do the underwriting on this. But I think it's worth looking into to see how you can structure it so it is cost efficient. But I think there are several different people need to form that committee and start looking into the different models that are out
I
there.
wish we had a better way of just educating the public is why they need to shop locally, not just because they
Yeah.
want them to.
Right.
They need to understand that the dollars just turn over 2 or 3 times. They may work at we don't know where they work, but still, it's all gonna come back eventually. Where they take it to Little Rock, we don't see that money again.
I'd like to see a campaign that did focus on statistics and said for every $10 you
Right.
spend,
That's what I'm educating.
your $3 is going to the
Public
police
safety.
and fire.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, educating them on the amounts.
It's almost like this group of people needs to talk to the public. It's like the public needs to see this, not just us. It's like they need to know what's going on. Like I put in the group the other day, their ideas, what they think would work, just to get them involved. So, like I said last night, you have people that talk about Pine Bluff, but yet they're not doing anything to change it, nor are they leaving.
Right.
So that's the problem.
We need to find those people
Yes.
and let them be heard.
Yes.
I agree with you.
Here's something, and I was talking to my wife about this in regards to clothing. There's stuff, all these people, and this is what I don't understand about a lot of these folks that talk about, well, I go to Little Rock to buy clothes. There's stuff I can find in the Pines Mall that you go to Little Rock, you're spending the gas to go to Little Rock, then you're going to eat up there. And, a pair of blue jeans that I can buy in the Pines Mall for $50 is $75, $80 in Little Rock for the same thing. And, obviously, my wife and I, we're in the mall a lot. You hear all these horror stories in the mall, and I'm like, what mall are you going to?
Right.
This video is a link, okay? Even if it's already 53 minutes, it's still a link for you. So maybe not on the website, which would be ideal, but maybe if you could put this link to like a newsletter, so that would be like a great way to everybody know who didn't attend the meeting. Hey, this is happening. It is happening big. So maybe you could include this link somewhere in Chamber.
I know everybody does social media. That's great. But most of the bulk of people, my aunts, my uncles, and everything, they don't do much of that. But everybody drives. Visual. The thing I'm seeing is that everybody's saying when people see something, they attracted to it. So in the city, if it's a billboard, if it's something hanging from the corner of a stop sign that's slow, shop local, something,
Right.
and people see it, it's priming them. They see it every time. They drive down the street, you may look over and see it. You may look up and see something. I think that would help prime people to say, hey, I keep seeing this sign. So, as they drive, that's everybody.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I agree too. I just recently did Google AdWords with CPRs, our franchise out of 250 stores. They've never seen results like mine, and they could not believe people in Pine Bluff do not Google. But people do not Google here. Like I would, it's second nature to me. Oh, I need a number, Google. That's what I do. But 75% of our population does not do that.
Well, I was going to say a while ago when we was talking about advertising with the commerce. I mean, right now I have a car in my shop. The guy brought it from Chicago, Illinois, for me to work on it. I run into this every day of every week of every year. I've never did anything other than promote myself. I haven't been a member or anything, but I think what he was saying, social media, our age group is all on it. If y'all want to see change, you're gonna have to come to the younger generation that aren't sitting there not looking on their cell phone. I dropped my Yellow Page ad and it's booming. I was $800 or $900 a year. I dropped it, gone. Guess what? Facebook, bam, everybody sees it.
Well, advertising in Pine Bluff is the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, hey, it was a really tough decision for me to walk away from that. I mean, it really was.
I stopped doing the Pine commercial.
Right.
The Pine commercial percentage of the people that actually read
Right.
it now.
That's right.
No longer reads it. So mine, and I'm running myself here, it's Carla Thomas, but I do mine through social media. And I got students that come from Little Rock. I got 3 students from Mariana that's actually driving every Saturday to come to attend our classes, to do our drug testing, our DNA, and our fraternity. I get people all over the state. But the advertisement piece is one of the biggest issues that I continue to see. And we're gonna have to revamp how we're doing it. Even some of the younger generation and older generation. I just graduated a 72-year-old man from a CNA course. So he wanted another career in life. So he found me on where? Facebook, and he's been following me ever since. So we need to relook at that thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look how well it worked in the small
The chamber,
room,
like,
you know.
if somebody's coming in, do y'all send out information? I mean,
Like a newcomer packet?
yeah. So, I mean, we're not on the retail side of it in that sort of a way, but would it help if like, there was a flyer or something with everybody? I mean, if you wanted to give a discount or something like that, you know, just have like one sheet. You know, here's Deja Vu and here's.
Be included in the packet?
Yeah.
And include this in the newcomer packet for include.
I mean, would that help or something?
There used to be something similar to that, was it Newcomers Welcome Association?
There still is.
Is that still
But
active?
there is a newcomers organization, but if someone calls the chamber and say, can you send me a newcomer packet, we send our own packet, yes.
So the chamber handles that?
It's two different organizations. There's a newcomers organization,
Yes.
but if someone calls the chamber and tell us to send them a newcomer packet, we have our own packet as well. Mhm. And we can put any information, if you want something in the newcomer packet, you can put it in the newcomer packet.
One of the things that we did last year, we met with a research group called Oakley Research. And we had 2 focus group meetings, one in Little Rock and one in Pine Bluff. And I think I might have mentioned this last week. But one of the things that we focused on is information. How do you get information out to the public, to Pine Bluff in particular? And we were astonished at the different avenues, but there's still that missing link as to, it's not newspaper, it's not social media, and it's not radio. And when we have our town hall meetings and we're putting information out there and it's been in the newspaper, you know, people know that we're tearing down houses, right, all over the city. Do you know that there's still people that come up and ask me, what are you going to do about the abandoned condemned houses? And I'm going, really?
Tell us about it.
Really?
We know exactly where you're coming from.
Really? How, that missing link, and how do we define that missing link of getting to the right market? And I don't know the answer. They didn't know the
I
answer.
think the state research company didn't come up with an answer.
They did not.
The only thing that I can,
They're scratching their head too.
the only thing that I can think of in regards to that, and I'm not sure how this is going to be accepted, but I think there's a group of people that for whatever reason, whether it's politics, whether it's what we're dealing with today or any other social issue, there's a group of people that could just care less. And they, well, like you said, you know, we discussed yesterday what our visiting pastor at our church preached yesterday, and I knew that you had implemented some of that, but I didn't know that you implemented, you know, and
2013.
And I'm on social media daily due to my business. That's how I promote it. But I think that, and that's something I've seen, especially on the political side of things, is there's things that if you're paying attention to the news or paying attention to the social media, whether it's good or bad, that some of the politicians are doing, and then you talk to some people, you know, there's people I talk to daily, it's like, well, I didn't know that was happening. And I'm like, you not watch the news, you not pick up the newspaper?
A lot of people on
Yeah.
Low information.
commercial website.
Low information, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Back to the shop local thing. I really want this to just really kick off. Will I be out of order if I have 2 really young, innovative groups, Leadership Pine Bluff and the Young Professionals. The Leadership Pine Bluff meet on the 9th, and you all know who've been through that class. I give assignments, homework assignments. Is it okay if I ask them to brainstorm and come up with an idea, and they'll submit those ideas to me on a campaign of to what they think will be a really good something for something that they feel like will work, and I bring it back to you all?
Sure. Can I piggyback on that? The East Lab group out at Watson Chapel, contact East Lab. I was with them 2 weeks ago, and they are phenomenal.
Yes.
Juniors and seniors.
Yes.
Well, that's what I was
Think
going to say.
Yes.
And the junior leadership group.
I taught high school
Phenomenal.
and college for 2,000
Yes.
years before I started this. And getting the
Well, good
message
for
to,
your age.
yeah, I know, thank you. Getting the message to high school students, you would be surprised how we think they don't talk to their parents, but they do.
Yeah.
They might say, well, you know, if you do, you know, my niece gives me more information perhaps than any person on the planet. Turn the water off on this, you know, what have you.
When I was-
I mean, you'd be surprised, I mean, getting to the kids, that's the beginning.
Are you familiar with the guy, it's off of 28, they have this financial, it's like Tuesdays at 7 o'clock, it's a preacher, he's like the,
Anthony Armstrong,
and
the Unity Christian
yeah, they have a
Church.
class at 7, and they talk about marketing. I think that he would benefit. He is very, 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 very smart. He helps a lot of people. Like a lot of people, entrepreneurs come in and those classes, and they talk about marketing. They go through the financial, what you should be doing. Like that's just like with the advertising. He said this is like with the advertising. He said that you have a target. You have a target. Like the newspaper. What's the age category to read? My grandpa still does. And then you have social media. So each business, he says you have a target audience, which means the age. What do you say? Some people with me, 18-year-olds, all that stuff, that's not my target. So you reach your target by that type of advertising, whether it's social media, newspaper, whatever, you know, because everybody does different things to find things. Some people like coupons. He suggested people love coupons. He said do a coupon. People like that. So he's real smart. Yeah.
It sounds like we all want to, well, what is a good meeting back time that we want to bring those ideas back?
At Jefferson Area Technical Career Center, we're looking at making changes to some of our programs that we're offering. And one of the programs that I plan on having implemented in the fall is mobile app development. I've been working with the AT&T store, so we're planning on having this in the high school. The high schools send their students to us, to our programs. Right now, our computer aid drafting class, I'm switching that to engineering CAD in the fall. So I'm making changes to kind of keep up with what's going on in today's society. So you have students that are involved in these things that are going to be looking for jobs in these areas. We're trying to be as proactive as possible, keeping up with other technical career centers in the state here in Pine Bluff. And right now, currently, I have 200 students enrolled in one of our 6 programs, to include 2 of our nursing programs. She did. So we have 2 high school nursing programs as well. CNA and medical assistant. So our students are, you know, looking for jobs in your areas if you guys can assist them. But I believe that that mobile app and that engineering CAD is going to be one of the 2 biggest ones that we'll have in the upcoming school year. And I'll go ahead and say it now, we will be relocating our program over to Forest Park Elementary School, which is off of 34th and Hazel Street. So it will be in a community. The community will know more about us. We will still be a part of the co-op. But we're just going to move to a more central area, getting off of, and I'm not saying that it's in a bad area, but we're currently located in the co-op, also on 3rd and Beach, right across the street from the Pine Bluff Commercial, and in the old Armory, which is where our CAD and welding programs are currently operating out of. So I believe the move will be better, but we need your help as well to show that when these kids go through some of these programs, that they will have a chance to be employed here in Pine Bluff.
But back to what you were saying about East Lab, I was an honorary East Lab member my senior year, and I sponsored a couple of events with the elderly, and we did some fun day events and activities with them. So it is a good program, and it gets the young people involved. I had a lot of people come back and say, oh, I want to do it again next year, even after they graduated. So it gets, you know, the community involved.
You have that younger generation's thinking that will bring them up to where, and then you just continue to recycle the kids, so to speak. Frederick Price, I didn't realize, anyway, he's just good.
Ridgeway just had an induction of a Key Club, and all their interest is the community service, and we had 60 kids that joined just Thursday night, and I mean, they are looking for community service hours. So if you know of any need, you know, they're going to come help me Friday. So that's another outlet for the youth.
I'm also going to ask those junior leadership kids too. Those are 10th graders. If you all know any 10th grade students, we have scholarships for them for junior leadership. It starts next Thursday, so bring me those names. I have scholarships. It's free to them. 10th grade students can be a part of this program.
My daughter will be part of it. Did you have a question?
You know, a couple things. You know, Debbie said something that was real important that we all need to remember. You know, united we stand. Fell apart on the last part. You know, that's real important. Coming together for that. I mean, I walked into a shop in Whitehall last week after we had talked, and one of the things we talked about last week was businesses not communicating, and people not communicating about what's here. And one of the things that I'd like you to take, and is this pamphlet right here that the city was putting out. I think it was a city, I don't know who it was, but it was shops, stuff that are in Whitehall. Okay, stuff for people to do. People say, what is there to do? A lot of this stuff I didn't know was there. You know, having that same sort of thing where people are promoting each other. Like I said, we're not, we're not all retail. Not everybody in here is retail, obviously, but just people helping each other out. I was in Dillard's not too long ago, and there are things that like, I want to be able to go in there and buy a suit at Dillard's here, or they don't carry them because they don't think anybody here will buy them. We've got to come together and show the folks who have businesses here that yes, we can shop right here. We can do those things right here. The other thing, not only do we need to get involved with City Council, but I think this louder voice, getting the chamber involved not only in business and government, but in education. I know you were talking last week about your kid was one of like 3 kids who could read at the elementary school.
Yes.
My wife works in education. She comes home upset, crying all the time because of, these schools, some of these school boards are about as idiotic as the city council.
Keep it real, just keep talking.
But this is our future too. We've got to look at not only what's going on right now, but what we're developing. We have got to show these kids that yes, we can have good schools for them. Yes, we can. A lot of these kids can't wait to get out of school so they can run away.
And see, the education part of it at the schools is what, the education is there. We have some of the finest teachers in the nation right here. But when they're disciplining 10 children for not acting right, they ain't got time to educate the 10 that aren't.
Right.
That's what I ran into.
My brother-in-law is a teacher in Watson Chapel. He was telling me the story a couple weeks ago. A kid that had been thrown out of school twice in juvie. They keep putting him back in the class. So he's disturbing all the rest of the students. We've got to stand up for the educators who are doing the right things. Show these. We've got to get these public schools right. So not only stand up and go. There's stuff in here about going to the city council meetings. We need to also be showing up at school board meetings.
Yes. I was shunned when I went to the Dalloway School Board meeting. They told me, be there and you'll be heard. Well, I got there and I felt like a criminal. They walked in with policemen behind me and they wouldn't let me talk. They said you have to petition the board 5 to 7 days previously if they want to allow you to. And that wasn't what I heard before I went into it. And I wasn't mad. I was just wanting to show them my concerns, and I was shot down like a jet pilot, you know what I mean? And felt at the bottom of the totem pole, and that's not where you get forward. That's not how you move fast, There's been a lot of good conversation today. I've heard a lot of different opinions. I think the mayor really touched on it, on the United We Stand. You can just look around. My wife and I were just out driving yesterday. I didn't even know that the movie theater had closed. But there's so many things that we need to work on. We have to look at the big picture. We can't just look at one little thing. This may be a group here. Somebody said movement. We need a movement in Pine Bluff to correct a lot of wrongs that have gone on for a long, long time. And it has to start somewhere. I don't know if this is the group that needs to do it, but some group has to do it. We have to talk about education. We have to talk about business. We have to talk about the infrastructure. Everything is affecting, what all of our businesses see. The crime rate, people leaving, all of that, it's all connected. You have to look at the big picture of everything, as a whole.
Now it goes back to what you said about the marketing. Now I knew the move to close. I knew it because he said it was changing. That Carmichael was not going to be the owner. The mall was taking it over. They was going to do something different, remodeling and everything else. I knew that, but I hear in the community like, Palmer, we don't have a movie. But I knew it was leaving. That's where we didn't have. That didn't get put out where people could know it. And what you about to get is better than what you had, but nobody knows that.
I was going to add to what he was saying about being a group that, I think we have to be that group at this point. And I'll go back to the post that I made on the networking page yesterday that the mayor commented on about the broken glass policy. And if you haven't read that, you need to. And I was unaware of this till this minister came in our church and talked about, and he mentioned cities like Baltimore, New York City was a big one, that they took cars, the HUD, Housing and Urban Development, they took 2 cars. One had a busted out window, then another car exactly like it, had nothing wrong with it, set them in what would be considered rundown neighborhoods and what would be considered nicer upscale neighborhoods. Both neighborhoods, it didn't matter whether it was rundown or the upscale one, both neighborhoods, the car with the busted window within 24 hours had graffiti, everything, the other windows were busted out. Then within a week, the car that was just sitting there that people noticed nobody was paying attention to, it was busted out and had graffiti. But then he talked about, and I looked this up in research, talking about New York City when Rudy Giuliani was elected, and whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, I don't think that this matters on something like this. I think you need to be citizens and work together on issues like this. But he spent just on garbage trucks that had graffiti on them, just on garbage trucks alone and cleaning up subways, like $1.5 million, just to repaint everything, make it look nice. They had the police start enforcing more codes, and the mayor is doing that.
Panhandlers was one.
Right.
Panhandlers was one.
And said even the smallest thing, even jaywalking, they started citing jaywalkers. And when people started noticing that people cared, when a group stood up and showed that they cared, in those bad neighborhoods, crime within a year was reduced by 37% in the worst neighborhoods. Businesses started coming back in, money started coming back in. The mayor's already done a great job. We heard this, what was it,
31%.
31, crime's been reduced 31%.
3 years.
Under her watch. And, so if a city the size of New York can do 37% in 1 year with a group of dedicated individuals that are saying we're sick of how this is, we're going to stand up, we're going to do it the right way, why can't a city the size of Pine Bluff do it in a year?
And there's another energy going on in Pine Bluff you may or may not be aware of, but a lot of Pine Bluff's kids are coming back. A lot of the people my age in their early 50s, late 40s, early 50s are coming home. I've got 4 or 5 classmates who moved back from all over the country. Coming back because parents died, they get the house, whatever. You can afford to live in Pine Bluff. We got to tap into that energy as well. How can we go about bringing more of our kids who fled back to the city? The strength of Pine Bluff is what we produce. It's out there, And I mean, I don't know how we would do that, but it is going on. Can we tap into that? Can we bring more people back? Can we bring people who've got businesses elsewhere who are from Pine Bluff back to Pine Bluff?
Well, I mean, it's on the real estate side, and Wayne can agree to this probably too. It's hard to sell Pine Bluff a lot of times because of the school system. People will not put their kids in the school system. If they don't have kids, they don't care. Because you can't get a whole lot more house in Pine Bluff than you can in Whitehall or anywhere else. But I just believe that I don't even know where to begin with the school system. And
well, I want to toss it out there, and it's probably going to happen. And there again, I think that we're looking at consolidation. I really, really, really do.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that will be a very, very good solution. But I have to piggyback on what everybody's saying with education. The CEO of Highland Pellet, which is a company that's building out on Industrial Parkway, they were here 3 or 4 months ago with the wife, looking at our city, trying to determine where they were going to send their child to school. And so they didn't have, to them, very many options. And that's tough. When you work over here to try to get all this element back to where it's good, we're still going to work on it. And then when you come up against education, and we have no control over education, we can partner with them, but we have no control over it. The only people that have control over education are the citizens, the children, citizens. I'm a grandparent, I have 6 grandsons. I'm extremely concerned about education. So I think just because you don't have a child in school does not keep you from voicing your opinion. You've got to do it for the future of our kids. Got to.
I was going, what she was talking about, consolidation. With me being a sports writer, when I was covering the high school state championship games this year, all of the people with money, they buy them passes to come into the press box, and you have state representatives, things like that. And they were talking about that at those games, about the situation with Dollarway, how many times they've been taken over, and they were openly talking about it, and they talked about that, but they also talked about the vision, what they call the vision of the school. When you drive by the school, what do you see? You see a fence up with razor wire, and it looks like a prison. Do we really need that? I mean, I understand you gotta have security. You absolutely have to have security, because we got people that are wackos that are going up and shooting up schools. But when you drive by the school right in the middle of the town, and it's wired up like a prison, what message does it send?
I don't know how to go about scheduling the next meeting time and meeting date. Any recommendations?
I just want to put this out there. Possibly, can we just maybe pick the first Monday of every month versus every Monday?
I was thinking when we were getting started, we might have needed to meet a little more
Sure,
frequently
yeah.
once we're established and we know what our goals are.
Right.
And we haven't really got to where our goals and what projects we're going to work on first.
The council meeting meets twice a month. Is it every other?
The first and third.
First and third Monday.
Well, I mean, I think
we have
those
a
two-
meeting before the council meeting and
That way they could-
council
I
meeting.
think
There's a lot of
I think those
guesses
two
on
days
here.
work. I think those 2 days, first and third, because everybody might not be able to make it on the first Monday. Then you come to the third. I mean,
Right.
you know, everybody, I think those two work. I mean, if you just can't make it, just can't make it.
I like the idea, meeting on the first and third Monday, 4 o'clock. We'll have to find a spot that might be closer to the chamber. And then I also promote that right before we get to the council, let's say a prayer. Let's huddle around and pray over our city and the decisions that they make before.
Prayer works.
But I do think all of us need to attend council.
And maybe we need to sign up every time we sign up that the Pine Bluff Business Networking Group is going to speak. We pick one person at the meeting and say, okay, who wants to let
They
our
have to
voice
be on the
be
agenda to
known?
be able to speak when they did.
We can call and get on, that's not a problem. Call us.
It's online, just print it off, send
Yeah.
it, call.
That's not a problem, we can have a stand-in
But do
every
you have
week.
to have your agenda stated what you're going to speak about?
There's non-agenda and agenda items that you can speak on. And so if you,
But we may not know till we get there.
well, no, call the office and we can guide you through it.
Be put on the list to speak, you have to call the mayor's office.
I would feel like, like I said, closer, I bet, the banks may be willing to let us use one of their rooms as far as, you would think they want to support a group like this. You got Reliance or Simmons both, I'm sure they have meeting rooms.
Or even the chamber room, like you were saying.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm gonna check with our calendar and go in to make sure. I think it's a great idea, it's easy access.
You know, Chamber would be a wonderful place. They have
See, if
very
some
nice
of
facilities.
the representatives of the chamber come to our meetings, well, if they're around the same day as y'all's meetings at the council or whatever, well, maybe that will get our ideas in there faster, you know what I mean? And it's fresh on your mind that way, I don't know, the same days as y'all's meetings would be cool too.
So the next
Fresh buzz, woman.
chamber or council meeting is, let's see.
First Monday.
February 1st. So do we want to meet February 1st, 4 o'clock at the chamber?
That's next Monday, 4.
This next Monday?
I would need to check and make sure there's no meetings before then. I think, well, there's not. Yeah, that would work.
I will let you all know if the room is available.
Okay. And we'll put it on our group. If anybody is not a group on our Facebook, let me know. And also, we do need to talk about that eventually in the future. Who do we want part of our group online? I mean, we want people who are going to be active and actually,
Positive.
yes, positive. We don't want the commies or the nosy folks who are just, you know, going out and talking about us or whatever.
Well, just as hard as we fight to get better, there's gonna be people fighting against us to keep it the way it is.
Okay.
And that's a really good point. The other thing, you know, you're talking about social media. When you see, and Debbie spoke on this too. When you see something negative, like one of those old articles pop up, I got to comment on it. Say, you know, have you bothered to look at the date on that article? But if you don't live here, that is not the way this is. We do have people who are working together, who are doing the right thing. We have got to combat that image. All of us have to combat that image and say, no. What you're saying, just like the stuff that was going on about the chamber, you're here combating those rumors. We have to do the same thing with the city. No, that is not the way this is. We have good people here doing some great things. Why don't you come be part of the problem or get out of the way?
Be informed. Be informed so you can dispel all of that.
The media is no help to us anyway. And why does the media point out Pine Bluff's not number one in crime anymore in Arkansas? You know, why don't they have done? I mean, you know, they have people, you know, tell me how I can't believe you moved back to Pine Bluff. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Where are you? I live in Midtown. I live on Poplar Street. You know, I can afford to buy a house in Pine Bluff. Folks, come home.
Well, again, you know, I mentioned it last week that, you know, people on the crime aspect talk bad about Pine Bluff, and I mentioned last week, you know, Pine Bluff, one murder is too many. Pine Bluff's had one murder so far this year, and one's still too many. But look at Little Rock. Everybody talks about going to Little Rock. I mean, even this weekend, there was 3 more shootings. There was another one this morning.
The shopping centers. Would you like to discuss our new marketing person?
I would love to. We are in the process of interviewing for a marketing director's position. This person came out of this focus group meetings that we had. And by the way, that's another way, another avenue to put out problems and find solutions. Focus groups are huge. But anyway, this position came from the marketing, from the focus group meetings. We will hire a marketing director. This individual will have the responsibility to be our public information person, that anything that might happen within our city, this person will handle it, but will also put out good positive press to overcome the negative that might be going on. That's one of the things that has never happened in our city. We've never had that type of position. When I was in Washington a year ago, the movers and the shakers, the cities that are growing, has a marketing person. We're no different than a business. You've got to promote your city and promote it in a positive way. So we have a job description for this individual. That person will be marketing our city in many, many different ways. And I think that in itself is going to be a huge positive, because this person will bring out, you know, the small businesses, our youth groups. We have a huge church group with 397 plus churches. A lot of them work with our city to get the correct information out to the citizens. So that's something that I think will be huge for our city this year. Also a grant writer. We're interviewing for a position for a grant writer so that we will be able to find monies, federal monies that will help infrastructure and many other different things that's going on. So those are 2 positions that the council did approve finally, and now we're getting ready to implement those. So those are good things.
I got one more thing, and I served 8 years in the Army before I started the business I got now. And veterans groups are very tight.
Yes, they are.
And we're talking about positive image, combating the bad images, doing things. There are, in Pine Bluff, we got a VFW, and you go out to the unemployment office, there's a veterans rep out there that's trying to help veterans get jobs. If we as small business owners, and I've done this, I have 8 employees with my business, 6 of the 8 are veterans, to include myself. If you start hiring veterans, and when you have an opportunity or not, or at least considering a veteran when you hire people, and you get that entity of people behind you and behind this group, they're going to fight for you.
I would love to have veterans. I would love to. Where do you find them?
You know what? Go.
On my website, the veterans register on, and you can go through and look. I have the information at my store, but I don't know off the top of my head.
You can go out to the unemployment office. There is a veterans rep. I know when I first came out of the military, I went out there. I didn't have to wait in a line. They took me straight to the back to the veterans rep, and I've got, because of the situation I had on a deployment, I've got 70% disability. He filled everything out for me, and I had no idea I could get that at the time. And, you know, they're constantly, and there are businesses, I know my stepdad, he works at Kisswire, they're big on hiring veterans out there. And they keep people out there because of that. And that, like I said, that's a group, when you get on social media and the veterans get behind a social issue, we like to fight. It's just, you know,
ain't
so,
scared.
Right. So they're going, you know, they're not afraid to pick up a sign and go picket in front of a place and do what they got to do to spread the word and get the word out. Like I said, if you get the support of the veterans, that's a key group of people right there.
HireVeterans.com is the name of the website. And veterans go there and register, and you as an employer can list your job openings, HireVeterans.com. CPR is used that a lot because of the order and structure of the military, and with our business, work hand in hand, and CPR as a whole has used that a lot.
We're talking about our next meeting. We've really run over an hour at last meeting and this meeting. Would we like to meet a little earlier, like at 3 o'clock on Monday, to give us enough time to discuss things? Can you do that?
I pick children up from school, I would be able, it'd be after I pick my kids and stuff up, it'd be after 4 before I could.
Okay, so 4, we'll have to cut it, you know, right at 5, and I mean, we'll discuss next time what we can, and